Hey everyone, what's up? Thanks for tuning into my channel. I'm Kara Halderman from karahalderman.com, and I'm a mindset coach and nutritional therapy practitioner. This is a new channel, so please remember to subscribe with that little fun subscribe button down below. All right, so today's video topic is going to be about intuitive eating. Intuitive eating is a term that I see thrown around a lot in the health space. Specifically with eating disorder recovery or people that were counting macros before and now want a new approach. Maybe you had a disordered relationship with food, or maybe you just Googled it and found it on the internet. I myself have had personal experiences with intuitive eating, and I've kind of come to this realization of what I believe intuitive eating really is. When you break down the definition, the way that people are intuitively eating nowadays isn't true intuitive eating. So I wanted to make this video to provide a little bit of insight into what I believe intuitive eating actually is, and the two main problems that I see when it comes to intuitive eating. A lot of my mindset clients who have struggled with body image and their relationship with food turn to intuitive eating but find that it's really difficult. They're having a hard time listening to their intuition, finding out what it is, and ultimately they just give up because they feel like they're turning on their own bodies. So before I get too deep into my thoughts, let's just get into the video. All right, so how does intuitive eating even work? Intuition can actually be defined as the ability to understand something without the conscious need for reasoning. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that you get a sense of knowing. And it's not this internal dialogue within your head of, oh, I think this is good for me, but is it really? Yes, it is. But is it really? Yes, it is. There's no back and forth. It's when you know you get a gut feeling about somebody and you know that it's true. There's no questioning, you just know that it's true. Some people call that intuition, but intuition is a very clear knowing. Intuition also comes through on our three primary channels. We have a visual channel, an audio channel, and a feelings channel. Or I call it more of a sensations channel because it's not emotions, feelings, it's sensations of what am I feeling in my body, what am I touching, smell, those are all sensations. So when you have intuition come through, it comes through in either the form of pictures, you see something, noise, you hear something, or sensations, you feel something within your body. That's why most people say that gut feelings and feelings within your body are your intuition, but really it can come through on all channels. So to me, if I were to apply all of my knowledge about intuition to intuitive eating, that means that you get a clear sense of knowing what to eat and how to eat without any sort of internal dialogue or disruption going in our heads. You just have a gut feeling, you see an image, you hear a sound, and you're like, that's what I'm gonna eat. Same goes with how you eat it. So you just either know that you're full, you see that you're full, or you hear that you're full. This process can be so freeing for so many people, and it takes away a lot of the counting and tracking because it's teaching you to tune into what your body wants and needs. The problem is, that's not true intuition. True intuition is a knowing, a clear knowing. You don't have to search for it. You don't have to close your eyes and look within your body and see what's going on and feel all of the feelings. Intuition is a clear knowing. But then there's the other question. Where does the knowing come from? Intuition is actually an anchored association from our past. I mean, how else would we know if somebody is a threat to us, if we get bad vibes about somebody, or if a food is bad for us, other than our past experiences? That's how our unconscious mind learns how to protect us. So intuition has basically bypassed everything up into the conscious mind to make it easier access for us to make an instant choice. It's an adaptation and a survival mechanism. A lot of people make intuition out to be this woo-woo spiritual thing, which it totally could be. However, there's a very primal, instinctual part of intuition. It's all based on past experiences. So that brings me to problem number one that I have with intuitive eating. I've kind of already mentioned all of my problems with intuitive eating, but I'll just get into more detail about it now. So problem number one that I have with intuitive eating is that intuition is all based on past experiences. So let's say you're trying to improve your relationship with food and eat things that you've had bad experiences with in the past. then your intuition is going to be telling you in an instant, whoa, don't eat that. But in your mind consciously, you know and understand that in order for you to improve and get better, you need to eat that food. So you feel like you're fighting your intuition with your conscious mind, and this can create a battle for a lot of people. They end up spinning in circles in their head, feeling like they can't trust themselves and they don't know what to do. When in reality, if they were to ignore their intuition about that food and move forward with what they know is consciously right for them, then they would most likely be much happier in the end. Remember that you are the one who is in charge of creating your future, creating a relationship with food, creating your relationship with your body, and ultimately you're just in charge of your life. So that's my problem with intuitive eating. A lot of our intuition is based on past negative associations that we had with food. For example, I had an intuitive sense that I should never eat potatoes. What a shame, to be honest, because potatoes are like my favorite food now. But I used to have a very strong intuitive sense that I shouldn't eat potatoes because in the past I had a really bad experience with them. I couldn't tolerate them blood sugar wise, digestively wise, I just could not digest them. Duh. However, I got to this point in my life where I wanted to eat potatoes again, but I still felt like my intuition was telling me not to eat them. So ultimately, I pushed my intuition aside, went with what I consciously wanted, and started to reprogram my life in that direction. Because if you live by your intuition, you're ultimately living in the past. Remember that in order to create the life that you want, you have to live within the present moment. So what can we do to combat all of this with intuition and intuitive eating? We can, 1, change the negative association from the past that we have around food, which I do those sort of techniques with my mindset clients. Or 2, we thank our intuition for being there and sending us that message. However, you make the conscious choice to eat something else. All right, problem number 2. I feel like I've woven in several problems in between, so it's probably more like problem number 6. I don't know. But problem number 2 that I have with intuitive eating is that the way that people are intuitively eating is not true intuitive eating. Like we defined earlier, intuition is a clear sense of knowing. There's no thinking involved. There's no searching. There's no scanning. There's no like looking in your fridge and wondering what looks good. It's, oh, I know, I should eat a salad. And then everything about that resonates with you and feels good instantly. But here's the way that people are taught to intuitively eat. A lot of people are taught to like open their fridge and just decide like what looks good to me right now, or what sounds good to me right now, or what feels good to me right now. So a lot of the practice is sitting there and kind of scanning your body, asking yourself like what would benefit me right now, and doing a lot of internal searching, which I see no problem with. I think that's an awesome strategy, being able to tune into your body and ask yourself like, what do I actually need, is an absolutely amazing skill. However, that's not intuition. So what you're really doing while you're intuitively eating is you are scanning your body. Do you see how those are a little bit different? Or if we truly relied on our intuition, there would be no need to scan and search within our own body. And then like we talked about previously, intuition's based on past experience. And what if you don't want those experiences anymore? I wish people would look a little bit more into the linguistics, the language of what you're calling yourself, because anytime you put a label on something, like if you say, oh, I am an intuitive eater, that goes right into your unconscious. But if you don't have a clear definition of what that means, your unconscious is just going to absorb all the many meanings and ambiguities that go along with it. It can get really confusing. Okay, so I hope you liked my perspective on intuitive eating. I really want to do some videos in the future about my journey with intuitive eating, or what a day of intuitive eating looks like for me, which, by the way, now that you know my definition of intuitive eating, I don't actually mean my intuition, my all sense of knowing what I should eat. I mean scanning my body and seeing what's right for me. I really want to come up with a new term for that, so in the next video, I'm going to tell you a term for what I just described, because intuitive eating doesn't sit right with me anymore. So let me know in the comments below, what did you think of this definition of intuitive eating? Did this change your mind a little bit or help you think a little bit more about the linguistics? And as always, if you liked this video, if you think that somebody could benefit from this video, please share it. It really helps grow my channel and spread the message that I'm trying to get out to the world. All right, you guys, I will see you next Friday in the next video. Catch you later.